Hi, this is Spencer Colgan from Spencer Colgan is Wallpaper. How to install wallpaper around a window. Here you have a piece that continues from a straight wall onto now a window. And so, how do you do it? Well, if you had a level that went from the ceiling to the floor, and you were able to put it up against the wall, which you can because the molding is in the way, you get an idea how to hang it straight. So we make a template with a laser line. So that's our plumb line, that's our level. That laser line is so important. Here's why. Once you cut the wallpaper and you cause a void the size of this 5-foot window here, it's never the same distance on the right-hand side of the wallpaper, below the window and above it. You're off an inch. An inch is enough to cause you havoc in the rest of the installation. If you're off an inch because your bottom comes out a little, why does that happen? Because you're already compromising the level of the wallpaper by cutting it. And so if you're a little up at the top, you don't notice it unless you have a level there. And if you're a little off at the bottom, an inch is not a lot to stretch this wallpaper. Okay, so in order to prevent it, let me move the ladder so you see what I'm talking about. That's the edge of my wallpaper. I've measured from the edge of the installed sheet to this line, and I get 27¼ inches. So now I know to bring my wallpaper to that laser line. If I don't reach the laser line, the next piece, this piece over here, will be so off by 2 to 3 inches. This is how you do it. Let's do it. Now your room might be so bright that you can't see the laser line. Well then turn off the lights, cover the window, whatever you have to do. And if that still doesn't work, put a piece of tape line up against your laser line and shut the laser off. Now you have a template for your laser line with a piece of tape. There's always a way around it. Okay, so we match up our wallpaper. This is not easy wallpaper to install. It's a hand-painted print. So the original was hand-painted, and the sizes vary. You know, it's hand-painted, so not all the shapes are the same exact size. Whatever we're doing at the top, we're just coming too close. We gotta make it a little longer if we have the room, all right? So, let's try to do this quickly, although you really can't rush this type of wallpaper. The wallpaper is very unforgiving. It matches at the top, it doesn't match in the middle, then it matches at the bottom. It's typical for hand-painted wall coverings. You really gotta finesse the wallpaper. What I like to do is, before I close the seam, I like to leave a 1/16 of an inch space. Because it matches at the top, it matches at the bottom. I like to leave a space so that I get it all plumb, and then I just join the seams at the end. It's better than joining the seams from the very beginning and then having to pull it apart again. You just leave a little space there. It's very easy to put it all together at the very end. Can you bring the camera closer? I just want to show them the scene that I'm talking about. You just come over here. So I'm leaving a little space here. The reason I'm doing that is these figures are not the same size. I'll show you an example. You see this piece right here? Okay, there's my seam, right? Now watch. I match on the bottom perfectly. But guys, do I match at the top? No, I don't match at the top. Watch me, I'll move it up a bit. Now, you can't see that it doesn't match at the bottom, right? But it matches now at the top. It's very tricky. So I just leave a little gap there until I get it all in place for the most part, and then I'll join my seams. All right. I call this the skirt. Pull the skirt out. See, I'm pushing it up because now she meets up here, but down here, she's not meeting up. Why? It's this hand-painted stuff. There's generally a lack of compliance with the exact shape of the thing. It's just the way it is with this wallpaper. It has nothing to do with you, so you have to... I mean, I'm way off here. When I say way off, I'm 1/8 of an inch off down here. Let's just show them it so they understand. Like, I'm matching up here. See how that matches perfectly. The same sheet of wallpaper, 2 feet down. Look how much it's off. Look how much that's off. That's a lot. So I have to now push that up, cause wrinkling. And what do I do with those wrinkles? I send them this way because I have to get those wrinkles out. And the only way to do it is to send them horizontally. You can't keep sending them upwards. So that's why I leave the seam, so that I leave the seam open. This way you can continue to move it. It's not permanent. And it's a waste of time if you put it in place and then you got to keep moving it. So now, continuing, putting my seam in place, getting these wrinkles out because I'm pushing that lack of alignment up and I'm causing buckling of the paper. But it's important. So where am I sending that buckle? This way. Look at this massive buckle to make it meet. Now that's going to take, that's too much. That's about 1/2 of an inch. See, so there's a problem with the wallpaper. But the manufacturer would tell you, deal with it, right? So now, okay, so we got our seam together, but we got a buckle in the wallpaper. How am I going to fix that? Well, hopefully I'm going to stretch it out a little here. I'm going to share that buckle with the bottom and the top. But I'm going to direct the paper this way and that way. If I could do graphics on my video, I would show you 2 arrows. One going down this way and one going that way. So, and you see how she flattens out? But I still got a nice size buckle there, don't I? So you got to do what I call finesse it. You got to keep stretching that buckle out, pushing this way. Get that buckle out, share that buckle. It's not a bubble, it's a buckle in the paper because it's not lining up. Now you see this curvature in the wall. This is an old building. They renovated these walls. There's a radius here. I'd say this is about 130 degrees or so. And so we're kind of filling that in. There's another challenge with that. You got to make sure that wallpaper's in that corner there. So you almost got that buckle out. See, folks, that's how you do it. Don't hit the buckle all at once. You'll wrinkle the paper and you will definitely take this color off of it. You really got to go slow. And you see, now what do? We kind of stretched out the paper in different directions. That's how we got rid of it. But it wants to come back because now we've put tension on that paper. We put tension on it. We've unnaturally stressed that paper because it's not square for whatever reason. The paper is missing, the figures on each side aren't the same exact size. So you want them to match, so you kind of pull the paper to make them match. You make it happen. The consequence is that the paper is knocked out of square and it wants to go back. It wants to relieve the tension in it. So you can see I'm pretty close here on the seam, like it's close together, but up here I have almost 1/8 of an inch. I just got to keep working it. So enough on that. I'll come back to that. The video is about this window. So now I'm comfortable with this. All right, I still have to move the seam over. I still have time for that. What do I want to do? I want to get this paper out of the way. It's a tension. It's tension on the rest of the paper. It's not allowing my paper to relax. So now I'm simply going to feel around and take this paper out. I want it out all the way to the woodwork. All right? And then we will get to the meat of the video. Can you use this paper? No. You're not going to be able to use this unless there's some defect in the rest of it and you want to splice it. That's for a whole new video. But for the most part, this is garbage. But I'm going to hold on to it. You never know. There was a defect in the wallpaper on the other side where there was just a splattering of green. The color is on the wall covering, but they have now one extra roll. All we have left for the rest of this room is the exact number of sheets we have left. So that's what happens when you don't order enough paper. You have enough paper when you have another roll for the job. That's when you have enough. People never opened up wall covering that's $70 a yard and found defects in it the way we have. Philip Jeffries, whatever. It's Schumacher, there's defects in it. I did a Schumacher installation in a restaurant. The woman was angry at me. The adjoining sheet, every right-hand sheet didn't have the balloon of the clown holding the balloon on every piece of wallpaper. I said, you're missing the other part, it's just not there. She had an artist come in. She wanted to pay an artist. So he painted. It looked like it was the wallpaper. Perfect job. But sure enough, a Schumacher was missing the balloon. I called them too. And they tell you right in the directions, don't expect perfection. Pretty amazing. Okay, so now we have a tension mark here. You gotta cut that out. We only want to go right to the edge. You don't want to cut too much of your wallpaper, obviously. Now, we put this sheet in place, making sure that it's straight. You see, I have a lot of leeway here. I can move this up an inch or down. You wouldn't see if it's plumb or not. That's why it's so important to have a laser line. That's going to tell us if it's plumb, which is another word for what a lot of people say is level. It's not really level, it's plumb. Plumb means straight up and down. Okay, so let's see how we did it. I'm going to put my laser line up on that to see if it's straight. And sure enough, I'm surprised that I'm straight. I'm very surprised that it is. I just guessed right. But that's not the important issue right now. The important issue is that the distance between this end and this end be the same exact underneath the window. That is the point of this video. And let's get to that. Let's see how we do that. Okay, so, see our laser is very sensitive. We're on a hard floor, but it still moves, the laser, so we gotta make sure that it's staying in place. I hate when it moves. Okay. Just reducing the stress on the corner here. Now let's see. Okay, I'm over here. So I either have to move this one to the left or move the top to the right because it's not good. Okay, so you can see here that you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to share this non-compliance with both sides. What do I mean here? Look, I'm going to pull this in. Try to pull this in. You see, folks, it's very important that, you know, some people say, oh, wallpapering is easy. I went to a hotel once, a few months ago. The manager with his engineer was showing me around. So the engineer says to the manager, he says, I can do wallpaper. I started laughing hysterically. I really did. I didn't get the job, but I started laughing. If you can do wallpaper, why are you calling me? You know? It was sort of a professional insult. I can do this. Didn't do it, you know? I'm trying to say, please, this is an important part of your installation. And I'll tell you, only after failing did I learn how to do this, okay? You just think about it, like, how can I succeed after it didn't meet? The reason is we don't have a level to go from the top to the bottom, to bridge it, because of this window in the way. Then you just think, a laser, you gotta have a laser, okay? So I'm sharing with you the fruits of my successes and failures, all right? So you can see I'm pulling it back, right? I'm still off by a good amount, but I'm trying to pull that in and make it match. It's a lot off. It's terribly off. Now I got this mess here. Watch this, another trick. Watch this. Now, water. A big, big saving grace. Watch this. Water makes it easy for you to slide your wallpaper around where you need it, okay? So let's just bring it to where we need it. What the heck, right? Now we see this buckle here. I mean, this is the worst mess I think I've ever been in with this thing. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. And so, I gotta somehow make it less wrinkled by sharing this wrinkle on other parts of this paper. You just kind of, pull it tight and stretch these wrinkles out, make them smaller wrinkles, and then, because it has water underneath it, the water helps get these wrinkles out. it makes you, see, it comes out and, but it's not going to be easy. In fact, I'm going to have to pull this back because I can't hide all of these wrinkles. On this side, I gotta go up there and share the mess with the one on top. You know what I mean? I gotta stretch that one. See, this coming out 3/16 or an eighth, that has helped me a lot. I hope we don't get interrupted with a phone call. You know what? Let's get some water on this side too. Okay, so. Now, add cheap wallpaper to this problem, and you're going to have ripped wallpaper. The wallpaper has to be durable enough to withstand all of this manipulation. This is a lot of manipulation going on here. The color is the first thing that's going to go on cheap wallpaper, because the color doesn't stand up to all of this friction. And if you do have a cheap wallpaper, stop the job and tell your customer, hey, listen, we got a problem here, you know? Because they'll expect you to be a magician of sorts. And you gotta let them know, no, this is, I can only do so much. If your walls are off and the wallpaper is manifesting imperfections because it's a hand-painted product, you know? Look at that, still wrinkled. She wants to overlap. Let's see if we're, okay, at least where the edge is straight. So I have to go up there and pull that wallpaper to the right and hope that it works. It's not easy. This is one of the most difficult things you're going to do hanging wallpaper, to make the top and the bottom over and under a window match. The easiest wallpaper to do this with is vinyl. This is a paperback composite of vinyl and paper. It has stretchability. It's pretty good stuff. But I have to go up there now. So my laser line is 1/8 of an inch to the left of my wallpaper. I have to go up there, wet it, and I'm pretty sure I can stretch that. Because if I don't, when I get to the other side, I'm not going to match up. So, let's try this. see. Okay. You know what we're gonna do? This is a great video, but too bad we can't make it a full video. I'm gonna show them what to do when you get this issue. No, we're off up here. Hold on, this is moved now. Okay, so we're good, we're better. Okay, my cameraman just pointed out. See, the camera, we're on what I think is a cement floor, but regardless, our laser is moving. All right, beautiful, Matt. Now, yeah. I know it's hard to, all right, it's right on the point at the bottom. Let's see. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh! Okay, folks. Here's what I was gonna do. Sometimes it's so off, okay? If we were to take a level, let me just take the level for the video, people. Hold on a second. Okay, so we're dealing with old walls, which they're sometimes very much off. Let's see how our window is. Our window is off, okay? The bubble is beyond the black line. That's another problem for the layout of the wallpaper. You know what? Maybe they'll just trust me. The bubble is past the right black line. If they could see it closer. You see? There you go. So now our window is off. And that adds to the problem because the vertical is off. And so it throws off the wallpaper. Same exact of non-compliance on the vertical. So now, if you did this wallpaper without the laser, you would just, all right, you stretch it out, it lays out up there, but you see how much play there is in that wallpaper. You got 1/4 of an inch. If you overstretch it or you don't stretch it enough and you stretch the bottom too much and not the top, you're off. So that when the last piece meets the wraparound, you're overlapping by 1 inch or so. See, what happened? Well, you didn't pay attention to this initial laser line. I hope you learned something from this video. It's very important that when you first wrap around the window, that you join the top and the bottom either with a level. Maybe your window isn't molded yet. Maybe you're in a new construction and you can put a 5-6 foot level on it and you don't need the laser. But if you have woodwork, like 90% of your windows around which you're going to put wallpaper, you're going to need a template of this by using a laser line. And this I got from Bosch. This thing cost me $200 and $35 for the tripod. Well worth it. So there you have it. If you have any questions about what I explained in this video, give me a comment. I'll explain it further. Please click on like, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching Spencer Colgan's Wallpaper.